What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky, not quite quickie, we're going to look at another Power of the Primes Dinobot. And this is, of course, Dinobot Slug. Because officially they can't call him Slag anymore, but I don't care. He's Slag in my mind. But before we take a look at the figure, we got to look at the packaging, because it's what we do. And you have a really nice rendition of Slag up here, breathing fire. You got generation thing there. You have the cool bubble with the prime wheel behind that. It says Transformers as it should, Power of the Primes, Dinobot Slug, and he is, of course, a deluxe class. You have the robot mode right there, ages 8+. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. Come to the back, and you can do a quick little read-up on him. How will the hot-headed Dinobot warrior wield the power of the Primes? Probably not at all. But you see the Prime Armor gimmick there. It does this, that, the other, and Robot Mode, Dino Mode, and he can carry the baby in his chest. These are your footballs for the first wave. You've got Micronus, Vector Prime, and Liege Maximo. So you've got Power, Swab, Time Traveler, and Trickster. Whoop-de-doo. Yay for boxes. And of course, because I forgot it last time, he does come with character card. And you got Power of the Primes, Dinobot Slug, and you have a thingy up here. Yay for that. And you see that it is Micronus Slug. Power links to share his fire-breathing ability. So apparently Micronus can allow you to share your powers with others. It's a card. Yay for cards. I gotta watch where I'm throwing things. And we'll come in. Oh, hey, that's way too high. And now we have a Slug. Or a Slag. Right here. And he is looking pretty good in a whole lot of gray and red. Now, it is a very decent G1 rendition. Does look the part for the most part. I know I said part twice there. Though the one thing he is lacking is the wings. They just said, nope, this isn't going to fold out. Kind of makes me sad. And also, he doesn't have a red head. He has a black head. Makes it very hard to see. Actually, it's closer to a gunmetal. It is, in fact, painted. So his thighs and his face are painted. Everything else is raw plastic. So you got the silver, you got the gold. You even got some nice translucence there with some black in the painted gold underneath the clear. It's kind of a very G1 toy thing. You can see it back here, and you can see it on the dino head, which, of course, we will look at a lot more later. So out of the box, he does come with a cool rifle, like so. Yay for a rifle. It's actually molded a lot better than even the Titan's Return lines were. So not huge. I mean, it's hollow to a degree, but they fill the hollowness with something, so you can actually dig that. Now, one thing that sucks is all of these come with a single weapon. Every Dinobot used to come with a gun and a sword of their own. These are coming with either a gun or a sword and your prime armor. And, of course, this is the silly new gimmick that we have recycled from both previous lines. So we get the Combiner hand, shield, foot, gun. Actually, in this case, it's not a foot, just hand and shield and gun. And armor, because it is the prime armor. You do get your little clear weapon right here. That is nothing more than a filler. It actually does have some cool molded detail in there. Almost looks like back glass of a Lamborghini. That's kind of cool. And it is a gun, because you can use your imagination. And like I said in the super review, I might actually go ahead and paint these a little gunmetal silver or gray, just to make them look like a gun, or black, for that matter. These things are probably the dumbest part of the whole thing. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for the fact they had a combination gimmick, there'd be no reason for it. So let's look at what the Prime Armor can do, because you can do a couple things with it. This one is identical to Swoop's, which I have somewhere nearby. No, I don't. Okay. So it has the same kind of thrusters or barrels right there. Spikes right here. Not thumbs. Don't look at the thumbs. And your handle sticking out the bottom. So you can totally just use it as a gun, because he needs more guns. I have gun. Like so. You can use it as a backpack back here if you really want to. Though this is, of course, probably more for robot mode, or dino mode, I should say. And because he has this huge hole in his chest, he can totally use it as his baby carrier. Like so. I have armor now. You can't hurt me. I have an armor. My armor is better than your armor. Well, it's exactly the same armor. However, because you can totally carry the football, the only football I have at the moment is a hot rod. So if he needs to carry around hot rod, that doesn't want to go in there that well. Now, mind you, it can hold a Titan Master, it can hold a Prime Master, and yeah, that's how that works. I don't believe it's supposed to set in super deep on these, but it is what it is. It's a stupid gimmick, but hey, it can have a hot rod face in its belly. Pull off the Prime armor. Take a look up close. Look at that face. Look at that face. The gunmetal face and it. Look. Bright red eyes. Little tamper-graphed Autobot emblem there. Like the gunmetal thighs. These are actually painted. I'm surprised they even went that far, to be totally honest. You can move the head, although it's pointless. You can just look, right to left, hardly, a little bit. Ball joint mounted shoulders. They're hollow. You've got same swivel in the biceps, and you have single jointed elbow. Wrist only moves to facilitate transformation. No, I was supposed to say no waist rotation, but it does have it right here, so that you have the awkward backpack and skinny butt going on. And you got T-mounted ball joint here. You've got swivel in the thigh, and you have single jointed elbow, not even 90 degrees. And you got the ginormous, clunky feet that you have to have when you have a Slag. It's what he do. He has ginormous feet. And to prove that, we'll bring in other Slags. We'll go with the big boy first. The Planet X version. Once again, giant feet. So yay for that. And then, of course, the DX9 version, who has big feet. Now, the funny thing is how close in size these are. He's just barely shorter. And I think actually at the horns, they're the same height. But, of course, this guy, you guys know how much I love him, despite the fact how the feet are jacked up. The head is G1 accurate and stuff like that. They're kind of getting away from true G1 here, but at least going with a G1 aesthetic. Let me rotate the camera up a little bit. Maybe make my life a little bit better. Take a picture. I did. Alright, so let's get these guys out of here. And I'll bring in his compadre, Lord Swoopington III. Technically the third, because he's the third one I've got. So yay for that. Alright, so let's get Slagerific here into Dinobot mode. Pull off Prime Armor. Pull off the gun. Easy peasy. Okay, so we come down to the legs. Actually, let's just do the hands. Let's do the easy part. Fold the hands away like so. Ow. It's a little sharp. Super thin plastic. Ow. Fold the hands away. Obvious hands are obvious. Close up the dino mouth like so. And now we'll go to the legs. So you want to take the tail bits. It's not exactly tabbed in, but it is resisting a little bit. You want to take the feet here. And by the way, this is kind of a cool transformation bit. You have this heel spur right in here. If you turn the dino leg in, that folds away. Now you've got a double hinge right here. Goes this way. Gets it out of your way. Come over here. We will do the same on this side. Fold that away. Tuck that over here. And we will port those together. And fold the whole shebang in. And you got a couple tabs that will tab in right there, and it will in fact split the legs again. But just keep going, it doesn't matter anymore. There we go. Hey, that's the first time it didn't split the legs. Alright, so we want to come back here, fold the tail together, and up. Like so. And then your rear dino legs, fold down, rotate around like so, and there we have Slag in his Triceratops mode, which, right. He's definitely one of my least favorite Dinobots at this point because they did not do some Triceratops justice here. As I kind of pointed out in the live stream the other day, he's a potato. Just perfectly round right through here. Just looks like a baked potato ready to go with some gold bits. These back legs are terrible. I don't know what they were thinking on the shape of this. They could have at least mimicked the front leg at all. No, they made it completely different. Not to mention they painted this part, left this raw plastic. And I'm fairly certain this is all translucent, if I had to guess. Yeah, the entire leg is translucent, which is why they had to paint it. But come on, Hasbro, paint the whole damn leg. You got a black stripe right through here, very G1-like. You got gold paint up here. That's not bad, because usually his toes are gold. I do wish it was a more vibrant gold. You've got the clear tail, as I pointed out earlier. You've got the clear dino head, as I also pointed out earlier, along with what I believe is a sticker, but could be tamper-graphed. That's tampoed. Yeah, you can't even feel it. Got red eyes on there. That looks pretty good. And you have the clearest little clear nose ever. Now, I do have one little fix right here to maybe make him look a little bit more dino-like. You do have to untab the head like you were going into combine mode. And then just prop it up a little bit like so. And hey, that sort of fixes the sculpt. Because his frills shouldn't be down against his back. That's my opinion, at least. Now, his horns, they're a soft plastic. Not super soft, but soft enough. And they should be curved up a little bit more, but they're a little bit better. They're almost flat whenever they're in the box. And they're also turned kind of inward like so. And you can see that one's a little warped. At least these you can rotate out a little bit. So you can make them however you want to. A little bit of heat, a little bit of cold. I could probably fix these, make them curve upward like I like. So, of course, in Dinobot mode, he has similar articulation. Just rotates here. All this other stuff doesn't really change. The back moves a little stiffly because now you've got that toe back there you're fighting, or that heel spur you're fighting. Tail does nothing unless you count up and down waggle. Which, personally, I don't really count up and down waggles. That's just me. And the prime armor can, of course, be attached to him if you must, just like we showed off in backpack mode. So you could have it facing this way, so the spikes are in the back, or you could have it facing forward, like he's shooting or something. I don't know. Got to get him down real low for that. You could also put your gun there, which is kind of cool, not gonna lie. Everybody loves a good armored dinosaur, right? Right. And for comparisons, let's go ahead and bring in the Planet X Slag, which is not a fair comparison by any means. Size-wise is absolutely ridiculously different. And not even like G1 remote. And of course, we bring in the DX9 version, which honestly is very close to being the same size. I mean, lengthwise, oh man, there's almost no difference lengthwise. Head-wise, his head's technically bigger, his frill is bigger, the horns are bigger. The front legs are stubbier. I mean, the legs are different, but he's actually proportionally better at being Slag. So, I want to find a way to combine this guy. Jeez. So go ahead and get him out. And we'll bring him in with his wave mate. Oop. Wrong pterodactyl. You know, Swoopington there. Lord Swoopington III. Alright guys, since of course this is a combiner, we can get him into combine mode. And of course, like all the other Scramble City bots in this kind of Combiner Wars-esque thing, you can totally do arm and or leg. And you have your fist here, so I may as well make it into a right hand. Go ahead and pull out the fingers like so. Oh, sorry, bring out the tab, fold this one up, fold this one down, and there's your hand. Oh, and by the way, it can hold a weapon more or less, just by plugging it into the thumb. I really, really don't like that. I wish they'd given it, because you have a giant slot right there. It would have been so much better if they gave it weapons that will plug into there. Now, if he will have big weapons, we don't know. There's been kind of vague images of the combined form having a giant sword, but we don't actually know. But to get this guy into combined mode, there's a couple different ways. Let's go into foot mode first, just because it's easy. Just take the tail, flip it up, go ahead and tab this back. Now, one cool thing is you see it right here. You can see that tab just sticking out. When you fold it back, it tabs into that. Makes it nice and sturdy. Take the arms. You've got a little bit of a groove right here. You have a tab right there. Just want to flip it 180. And wow, I don't know what just happened there. And then just tag it in there. Very easy. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And then for the dino head, I've already broken it loose for earlier. Just tilt it like so. Flip up your combiner peg. And you can do this one of two ways. You can either leave it out, or you can do it like this. Or if you really want to, tuck it down a little neater, or flip it straight up. However you want your dino head to look. And if I had a Dinobot foot here, you would just plop it down like so. And of course, you would have a functioning knee as such. Now for arm mode, we'll make him into a right arm. So we'll tip that down. This just can remain however. For the most part, actually the arms don't change at all, but we want to break the bottom part loose. Come on. Split the tail as best you can. Oh, I'm sorry. You got to untab this first, because you can't rotate the tail out of the way until you do. So basically putting these back into dino leg mode. Go ahead and break them loose. Get the tail out of the way. Just unfold it. Just don't split the legs. You want to come back here. Tuck the dino tail inside like so. Same thing over here. Just as if they were legs. Go ahead and fix this back the way it was. Rotate at the waist. I mean, you can go, I think, yeah, this is the way you're supposed to go. So that you got elbow articulation. But I think that kind of looks like poop. So let's turn it this way. So you got the nice big robo mode there. And plug the hand in. And there's your right arm of death. Murder, death, justice. Now, if you only use the waist as the elbow, that works out, but these things do not peg together very well. They're just very, very loose. Just stay together. Just stay together. Now we'll bring in Swoop, because we do have him in... Actually, we have him in a leg mode, realistically. But if we put him into arm mode, just briefly, off camera... And boom. There's your swoop arm and your slag arm. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I wonder, let's turn it. See, his legs are so scrawny, it's so awkward to move them properly. I guess we do it this way, it looks a bit more solid. So let's just go this, and we'll just assume that this is the elbow up here. So there you go. We've got a couple different parts of your thingy. But, like I said before on the Swoop review, guys, if this aesthetic is totally for you, if you've always really wanted to have a G1-like Dinobot combiner, by all means, go pick these guys up. I got them at Toys R Us, but I've seen them at Target. I believe they're even at Walmart. Or you can try to find them online. Grimlock seems to be the hard one to find, whereas the Deluxes are a lot easier to find. But it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Very, very long, skinny arms, but we'll really see how that comes into play later on when we get to Grimlock. And yeah, if you guys are new here, make sure you give me a good old thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you feel like sticking around, seeing what else I do, because I got all kinds of stuff going on here. And I want to thank my patrons, as usual, John, Andy, Steve. You guys are great for your support. If you want to know about the Patreon, right here on the screen, go over there and check that out. I'm really hoping to do more Patreon-centric content this year. I let it slip away from me last year, and this year I wanted to do better. So, I'll catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on priming, combining, compriming. Keep on compriming. See you guys later.